Good afternoon, guys. Alright, we're all sparkly. The basic premise behind testosterone replacement therapy is simply to normalize your testosterone levels for optimal well-being. What does that really mean? Does that mean raising them so you can be superhuman, a super stud? No. It just means normalizing your testosterone level. Nothing more, nothing less. Is that enough? Well, the answer to that question is yes. Because how your body functions is how your body functions. You can optimize it through addressing what? Stress, sleep, diet, and exercise. And you can achieve your genetic potential, but you can't surpass your genetic potential. And trying to be something that you're not is ridiculous. As I've said before, we are physical beings in a world full of psychological stressors. And it's hard to deal with the psychological stressors because they're all around us. Sometimes, even with the best coping techniques, stress levels can rise. They can rise to the point that you're constantly surveying the horizon for threats, even though there aren't any threats there. How peculiar is it? As I said in the previous video, if we understood our physiology, we could positively impact our psychology, and that would positively impact our emotions. And this playground should be fun. It shouldn't be full of the angst and despair and worry that it appears to be full of. But it is really just perspective. With normal testosterone levels, you can still see the glass as half full or half empty. Whether you choose to see it as half full or half empty is ultimately yours to decide. Now, we do know that testosterone positively impacts the amygdala, the decision-making part of the brain. It makes you less risk adverse. So we do dumb things because we're dumb and because we don't understand how our body functions and what we should do to achieve our reward. Yeah, you guessed it. Earn it. Not take it, earn it. So when we talk about balance, we talk about the need for balance within all aspects of our life. And I'm quite liking this seesaw analogy. On the one side, you've got your sympathetic drive and cortisol, and on the other side, you've got your calming testosterone and your parasympathetic nervous system. We spoke about this in the last video, but I want to go a little bit deeper. Deep, man, deep. Imagine a tiger stalking its prey. Is it anxious about whether it's going to kill and feed? No. It's concentrating on the moment. It's perhaps mindful. Now, how is a tiger mindful? Well, it's slowly stalking its prey. This might be a kill. This might be food. This might be food in my tummy. Yes. So what does it do? It uses its noggin to go downwind or upwind. I don't know. I'm not a tiger. But what's it doing? Is it hyperventilating? Is it worrying? No. It is focused. And when we talk about mindfulness and meditation, we always think about this, sitting on a rock in a beautiful world going, But actually, mindfulness can come in many forms. The gym, anything that you fully concentrate on. So this tiger stalking its prey, it is not hyperventilating. Its breath is slow and controlled. So as we said before, inspiration, sympathetic, expiration, parasympathetic. What that tiger needs is control. It doesn't want to release all of its adrenaline and noradrenaline and cortisol and fail. As we said before, placed in a stressful situation, an animal would decide to flee versus fight. But when you have to fight in order to survive, and stalking prey is fighting, then you need to have control. So as I said, one side, sympathetic, cortisol, that's firing all the time. That's keeping you alive. And on the other side, you've got your testosterone and your parasympathetic nervous system. So when you've got low testosterone, even with breath work, mindfulness, and other coping strategies, you can't cope because the seesaw is skewed and you have a sense of irritability and mental discord as a result of testosterone deficiency. So yes, I am a candidate for TRT. All of my problems are now over. No, disappointingly not. As I've said numerous times before, testosterone is the foundation hormone. It is the foundation hormone for you to build upon. So again, the seesaw, we can raise your testosterone levels to normal, and I mean normal, but then you have to work on your parasympathetic nervous system and use this because obviously humans are blessed, cursed with a higher state of consciousness. So we do have a noggin, but that noggin should be fun. We shouldn't have the levels of anxiety, depression, depersonalization. We shouldn't be committing suicide to escape the travesty of our lives. To actually achieve a sense of peace and perspective, suicide. How incredibly awful is it that some people can only find a sense of peace and tranquility from taking their lives? This must end. We must redress, address, and move forwards with a new model to treat depression. Not just hand out antidepressants like Smarties, not just think about talking therapies. So let's think about that. So we've got the antidepressant. That's the chemical insult that you are having when you have an SSRI. You are raising your serotonin to a healthy level. Well, no. Number one, we don't know if serotonin deficiency is your issue. Number two, we know that serotonin levels should fluctuate because you should have an appropriate response to a situation. You shouldn't feel permanently okay. That's not consciousness. That's not human experience. We should feel the joys of life and we should not want to go to the lows, but we should learn from the lows to avoid them in the future. But we constantly walk towards the path that causes angst. What a peculiar species we are. So you've got that side of the nervous system. You've got sympathetic, parasympathetic. You've got cortisol, testosterone. Are they exclusive? No, they actually work together. So the example of the tiger is wonderful, I think. Stalking its prey. It's about to release a massive sympathetic dump. But it's not, is it? It has to be controlled. So it has to control it with its mind and its breath. We want to have a proportional response to a situation. So optimizing testosterone levels to within normal physiological parameters can help you attain this, but it can't put the work in for you. You still have to work on this and aspects of your parasympathetic nervous system to lead a productive life, to lead a life worth living. And ultimately, that's the goal of what we do here at the Men's Health Clinic. We advise you to look at your lifestyle, your nutrition and your exercise to not need TRT. If you need TRT, we can chemically normalize your levels. But as I say to every single new patient, you have to put the work in to stay there. You have to put the work in to optimize aspects of your life that you have kind of given up on sometimes because, again, you haven't seen the reward for your effort. So what's the point? It's quite a legitimate question, isn't it? But now, with healthy testosterone levels, I want you to do what? Yeah, you guessed it. Go earn your reward.